Miles. Let's move on to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look, this is a team, they battled through some adversity at this point in the season. A lot of their troubles, very notably, have been on the offensive side of the football, mainly centered around offensive coordinator and play caller, Matt Canada. But we got some good news for the Pittsburgh Steelers that will get Steelers fans excited as they look to turn the season around the second half of the year. And I know you've got the story on that. Before I hand over to you, Miles, we want to hear from Steelers fans in the comment section below. Look, this season offensively hasn't really worked out. But guess what? In Steelers history, there's been a lot of seasons where the offense has been stupendous. Such a storied franchise, so many great seasons. We want to hear from you in the comment section below. Give us which Steelers offense you were most excited to watch and most impressed with throughout your time as a Steelers fan. We want to hear from you in the comment section below. But Miles, what do you have out of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Nick, this is about the easiest layup of stories here because it's so big. It's such a revolutionary thing, but it's so easy because it is TJ Watt stating that he is optimistic about his return this Sunday for a Steelers defense that is in great need of their fearless leader, reigning defensive player of the year. You think, okay, the Pittsburgh Steeler defense in the last 5-10 years, the name that automatically pops to your head now, I think even more than a Troy Polamalu, is TJ Watt. He's been a superstar. Obviously, I said reigning defensive player of the year. He's just been incredible, a force when he's on the field. He is a guy that wins you games when he's out there, and you really feel it when he's not out there. And him coming back is just going to be such a big boost to this Steelers defense. So can't say it enough how important it is. And this is a really, really opportune time for him to come back as well. Because if you look at the schedule heading forward, you have the Saints, who are a beatable team. You've got the Bengals, who Joe Burrow is very, very liable to get sacked. That offensive line still has not been cohesive. So that having TJ Watt can help you win a tough divisional game there. Then you got Colts, Falcons, your next 4 games. So those are 4 very winnable games for this Steelers team, especially with TJ Watt back on the defensive side of the ball. Nick, how big is this for Pittsburgh?
Oh, it's huge, right? Because obviously the only game Watt played in was probably their most impressive win of the year. You know, the Week 1 victory against Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, I know they beat the Bucks, but the Bucks have kind of fallen off the radar in terms of how good they've been. The Bengals seem to be another contender this year, and the Steelers, on the strength of Watt and their defense, beat the Bengals Week 1. So obviously a huge win for the Steelers then, and getting Watt back now is absolutely massive. But it's not just Watt. So according to Sports Illustrated, the Steelers upgraded their defensive tackle Larry Ogunjobi on the latest injury report. So he went from not participating in practice to being a limited participant. It means he'll probably get back on the field either against the Saints or really soon, which is another nice upgrade. You go across the board here. Defensive back DeMonte KZ has been activated off IR. So again, they're just getting healthier. And you mentioned this is at the perfect time because you go into a stretch here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, right? You talked about the Saints winnable, Bengals division games. You never know what's going to happen. Very winnable. You have the Colts, who stink. The Falcons are winnable. Then you have the Ravens, but Ravens, Steelers, I mean, those are always slugfest. No one knows what's going to happen there. And then you get the Panthers and the Raiders, who suck. So you look at the Steelers team. I know 2-6 is hard to swallow, but there's a real strong chance here that they can make some real momentum here over the next 6-7 weeks. I don't know if it's enough to get back to 500 or get back up in a playoff position, but it's enough to build some strong momentum and give Kenny Pickett and this offense, maybe some time to get their groove back, assuming they can get their groove and really execute with this defense that's now completely reloaded now that Watt's back in the game.
Yeah, and you'd think, some people would be like, oh, well, if we lose more games, higher draft pick. But if you think about this realistically, Nick, I think what's more important for this Pittsburgh team is to get rolling, get some cohesiveness. Because on the offensive side of the ball, Nick, really, if everyone starts rolling, you have some great pieces. Deontay Johnson has been pretty good. George Pickens has looked phenomenal. You could get another receiver in the mid rounds of the draft. Najee Harris, good running back. The offensive line has been performing admirably with the expectations coming into this season. They have been playing well above expectation, I would say. And Freiermuth, he's a good tight end as well. So the offense isn't as bad as people would make it out to be. I think a switch at the play caller position, we're gonna beat that horse until it dies. It's gonna be
and then beat it some more.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at least 7 more times after it happens. But that change at the play caller position is the biggest need for this offense right now, and I think it'll get it rolling. But Nick, I think if you can get some cohesiveness, get the players familiar with each other, get the rhythm timing down going into the next season. That would be really big for this Steelers offense.
100%. And I think you brought up a fantastic point about, well, you just want to lose more games to get a better draft pick. You know where TJ Watt was drafted, Miles? 30th overall, third to last pick in the first round. Again, just tanking and getting a high draft pick doesn't mean you have any chance of drafting success. Look at the Las Vegas Raiders, right? Look at the Cleveland Browns for like 29 years, right? They always had a high draft pick and they picked terrible. So I agree with you 100%. The goal here is getting Watt back, getting healthy with Ogunjobi, KZ getting into the fold here. Start winning some games and building up some momentum. Maybe you make a push late in the year. If not, you build kind of the core together to make a push beyond this year, especially once you get the play caller situation resolved.